Mhm.
How do you help people break that cycle of insecurity when it's a lonely job, when it's tough to figure out the network of folks to process with?
Mhm. Yeah. So, first, I think that the negative self talk is a direct symptom of just the self doubt, the angst, and the fear that we experience, right? Like all of that blends in to one another. And the output of that is this internal kind of negative self dialogue. And I talk about that in the book that we can't talk, I would never let anyone else talk to me the way that I talk to myself. And I share this kind of example of, when I was thinking about the superintendency, gosh, 10 years ago, I had all of these fears, right? Like I didn't know if I was ready for the job. I didn't want to move my family from where they were living to move to a different community. I didn't think that I would like it. I didn't know if I could balance being a mom and a superintendent. But as I've shared that lesson now, right, 10 years later, like those were conversations that happened at every single step along my journey from paraprofessional to teacher, from teacher to campus leader, from campus leader to district leader to superintendent to the role that I've had today, to writing a book, to being able to speak in front of a public, right? And it's not just once, like it's ongoing. Even the event that I did last week in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, I'm still kind of coming into that event and trying to proactively curb the thoughts that are in my mind, like, hey, Jill, that you have been called to do this work. You have a word of encouragement for these leaders. And I can sound inspirational on stage, but the moments leading up to it, the people that are closest to me will tell you that those moments are a struggle because I am in a deep place of doubt and self angst and fear. And I've given that message almost 100 times. And
Mm.
so I just think it's a real part of what we battle. And I don't know that it's something that you ever just completely overcome. It's something that you have to be aware of and then constantly find encouragement within yourself and within others who are pouring into you saying, this is the work that you've been called to do. And you have something to give to these people that are about to engage with you.
It's really refreshing to hear you say that because we had a guest on recently who's a public speaker for a living, right? Author, public speaker, and he was talking about his own self doubt. And when you see folks like yourself right now, you are so easy to talk to, and I know you're just like speaking out of your heart, so it's probably pretty easy to do that, but it's still terrifying, right? A little bit when you're like getting up
Sure.
there. But it doesn't look that way, and so it's just comforting to
Mm.
see folks and to know that like if I'm struggling with that insecurity, probably everybody else is before they go and do it. So that should not be the reason I'm not putting myself out there, right?
Right. And I think that, people ask, kind of why do you do that? Like, why do you get so vulnerable with people, especially around that piece around self-doubt and fear? Because when you talk about it and when you bring it to life and other people see that and hear that and go, gosh, here's this person who has been successful in the world's eyes, who has done the things, is on stage giving this message, and even they struggle with this fear and self doubt. Like, I can do that too, right? The goal isn't to overcome the fear, the goal is to lead through it anyways. Every time I had that cast list of just fear and doubt, it wasn't a matter of just waiting for it to pass and then recognizing that I was ready. It was saying, hey, yeah, I am really struggling with self doubt and fear, but I know the evidence is telling me that I've been successful in all of these ways. And I know that I'm being called to this next step. And so I'm going to step out, even though I'm having these fears and this self doubt behind me.